What would you do if someone spat on centuries of tradition right before your eyes? When Logan Spencer did just that, the crowd expected the guard to remain still. But what they witnessed instead was a lesson in true strength that no one would forget. Before we dive deeper into this shocking story, comment below where you're watching from today. And if you value stories about resilience and standing up for what's right, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more heartfelt narratives. The sun beat down on Buckingham Palace, its golden rays bouncing off the polished gates. The bustling crowd of tourists buzzed with excitement, phones raised to capture a glimpse of British tradition. Amidst the sea of flashing cameras stood Guard Daniel Ashcroft, motionless, disciplined, unyielding. But Ashcroft was more than just a figure in a red coat. A decorated veteran with 2 tours in Afghanistan, he had seen the harsh realities of war, pulled wounded comrades from the line of fire, and stood watch over fallen brothers. For him, the uniform was not a costume, but a symbol of sacrifice and duty. Among the crowd, Logan Spencer strutted toward the guard post, his designer sunglasses perched on his nose, Rolex glinting under the sun. He was the embodiment of privilege, wealthy, cocky, and used to getting his way. "Look at this guy," Logan scoffed, nodding toward Ashcroft, standing there like a wax statue. "Bet I can make him move." His 2 friends chuckled, phones already recording. The trio had been hopping between luxury pubs all morning, their bravado fueled by overpriced scotch and entitlement. Logan started small. He posed for exaggerated selfies beside Ashcroft, throwing peace signs and pulling silly faces. "Come on, man, give us a little smile," he teased, waving a hand in front of Ashcroft's face. Nothing. Frustration flickered across Logan's face. The crowd around them chuckled, some shaking their heads in disapproval. But Logan wasn't done. "Guess they don't pay you to think, huh?" he sneered, stepping closer. The faint scent of alcohol clung to his breath as he flicked the edge of Ashcroft's bearskin cap. A gasp rippled through the crowd. A middle-aged woman whispered to her husband, "That boy's going to regret this." Ashcroft, eyes fixed straight ahead, stood firm. He'd faced worse, mortars whistling overhead, the ground shaking beneath his boots. A spoiled tourist was nothing in comparison. Logan, now irritated by the guard's unshakable stance, grabbed a water bottle from his friend and, without warning, poured it over Ashcroft's polished boots. "Oops," Logan grinned. "Can't even defend yourself, huh?" The laughter died down. Even his friends exchanged uneasy glances. This wasn't funny anymore. Nearby, a little girl clutched her ice cream cone tighter. "Mommy, why is that man being mean?" Ashcroft's jaw tightened, the only visible sign of the restraint burning within him. He stood his ground, refusing to surrender his dignity to pettiness. Logan, emboldened by the silence, leaned in further. "You're not a real soldier," he hissed, "just a puppet playing dress up." Then came the slap, sharp, loud, public. Logan's hand struck Ashcroft's cheek, leaving a crimson mark against the soldier's stoic face. The crowd froze. The world seemed to hold its breath. But Ashcroft didn't flinch. Slowly, with the deliberate precision of a man fully in control, he pivoted to face Logan, eyes locking onto his aggressor. 12 years of service, Ashcroft spoke, voice steady as granite. "I've stood my ground under enemy fire, carried wounded brothers through fields soaked in sacrifice. I wear this uniform not for show, but to honor those who never came home." Logan's cocky grin vanished. His hand, so quick to strike, now hung limply at his side. "You mistook silence for weakness," Ashcroft continued, his gaze unwavering. "But real strength? It's standing firm when provoked, holding your ground when disrespected, never lowering yourself to the level of those who confuse privilege with power. The crowd erupted into applause. Logan stumbled backward, face pale, the weight of humiliation crashing down, not from the slap he delivered, but from the dignified response it provoked. Palace security moved in, 2 officers pushing through the crowd. "Sir," one commanded, hand resting on his radio, "step away from the guard." "It was just a joke," Logan stammered. "I didn't mean—" "Assaulting a queen's guard," the officer cut in, snapping handcuffs around Logan's wrists. "That's a serious offense." As Logan was led away, his Rolex caught the sunlight, a hollow symbol of status that in the end meant nothing. Within hours, the video hit social media. "Respect the Guard" trended worldwide. Comments flooded in, "Strength isn't in the slap, it's in the silence that follows. Tradition isn't weakness, it's resilience. That guard just gave a masterclass in dignity." News outlets ran the story, not about the slap, but about the unwavering composure of a man who chose discipline over reaction. As for Logan, his hedge fund distanced itself. Exclusive clubs quietly removed his name from guest lists. He deactivated his Instagram, flooded with comments like, "Money can't buy respect." And Ashcroft? The next morning, he stood at his post, cheek healed, reputation immortalized. A journalist asked, "What went through your mind when he struck you?" Ashcroft simply replied, "I stood my ground." That's what guards do, whether on the battlefield or in front of a palace. What would you have done in Guard Ashcroft's position? Could you stand firm in the face of such disrespect? Share your thoughts below. And if you believe true strength speaks louder than arrogance, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this story with someone who needs the reminder that dignity always wins.